Although Rome lost its territory to the various nations of Europe, it regained its territory in the hearts and minds of mankind. Divine prophecy foretold Rome would remain until the end of earthly kingdoms. Rome evolved from the old pagan empire into a religious power that is still felt today. As Rome was being pulled apart by the Germanic invasions, the Church of Rome played an important role to secure its own existence. In 460 AD, Pope Leo the Great said this:
"While Romulus and Remus were the twin founders of ancient Rome, it was through the missionary efforts of the apostles Peter and Paul that Rome, the mother of error, was transformed into the daughter of truth. Rome did not really pave the way for the Christian faith. Rather, the Christian faith paved the way for Rome to be transformed into the Christian city that it was meant to be. Peter and Paul, not Romulus and Remus, were the men who raised Rome to this glory, that Rome might be made head of the world through the sacred throne of blessed Peter."
Pope Leo taught that the existence of Rome was a result of the Church. He not only taught it, but he demonstrated it by creating peace with the Huns.
It became clear that neither the emperor nor the Magister Militum had any chance of halting the Huns' advance. So Leo the Great, Bishop of Rome and first Pope of the Christian Church, took matters into his own hands. He travelled north to intercede with the king of the Huns on his own. Attila agreed to see him, and the two men met at the Po River. Afterwards, Leo never wrote or spoke of what had passed between them, but when the audience had ended, Attila had agreed for peace. Leo returned to Rome, haloed with victory. For the first time in history, a bishop had taken the emperor's job. As spiritual leader, he could also claim the right to guarantee the Church's physical survival.
So after the division of the Roman Empire, the Church of Rome had secured its place as a power that would last to the end of time.
"And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. But they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay."
Since the fall of the Roman Empire, many attempts to unite the nations into one distinct nation have been made. However, the prophecy simply states, "But they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay." In 711 AD began an Islamic invasion of the old Roman Empire's territory. The Muslim power gained control of North Africa, Spain, Portugal, and part of France, but failed to subdue the entire region. In 768, Charlemagne, King of France, expanded his territory and became the protector of Papal Rome. He made incursions into Muslim Spain and removed the Lombards from power in Italy. Papal Rome established the Holy Roman Empire in an attempt to recreate the old Empire of Rome. In so doing, the Pope crowned Charlemagne the first emperor of the Holy Roman Empire in December 25, 800 AD. The Holy Roman Empire wasn't actually Roman or holy, nor was it a true empire, and failed completely at uniting Europe under one government.
The territories making up the empire lay predominantly in Central Europe. At its peak in 1050, under Emperor Henry III, it included the Kingdom of Germany, the Kingdom of Bohemia, the Kingdom of Italy, and the Kingdom of Burgundy. The last Holy Roman Emperor was Francis II, who abdicated and dissolved the empire in 1806 during the Napoleonic Wars.
In 1554, Spain emerged as a dominant power under King Philip II. Through marriage, wars, and diplomacy, King Philip gained power over a large portion of Europe. While King of Spain, he became King of Portugal. Through marriage to Queen Mary, he became King of England, Ireland, and claimed to be King of France. He was heir of the Duchy of Burgundy and was lord of 17 provinces of the Netherlands, plus many other titles. When his wife Queen Mary died, He lost his kingship over England. After being rejected by Queen Elizabeth I for marriage, he attempted to regain his power by sending the invincible Spanish Armada against England. The Spanish Armada was pushed north by the English fleet and was shipwrecked off the west coast of Ireland by a violent storm, destroying Spain's chance of uniting the various nations under one flag. Napoleon was the next to attempt the uniting of Europe. In 1814, his borders reached their extent. However, as with the Spanish Armada, his plans were thwarted by bad weather. In 1814, his army was defeated at the Battle of Waterloo. Not long after Napoleon, Queen Victoria of England came to power and eventually became known as the grandmother of Europe.
She and Prince Albert had 9 children, and most were married off to other European royal families. Victoria had 42 grandchildren, and a number of them held the crown of European nations. King George V of the UK, Wilhelm II, German Emperor and King of Prussia, Sophia, Queen of Greece, Maud, Queen of Norway, Alexandra, Empress of Russia, Marie, Queen of Romania.
It is said all European nations were elated by 1914, and although they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, it was no help when the First World War started. They simply shall not cleave one to another. In more recent times, Adolf Hitler almost spread the German nation across all of Europe. From 1939, Hitler overran nation after nation, his empire reaching its height in 1941 to 42. Again, God's providence stepped in, and a freezing winter crippled his army and caused the death of over 1 million troops, making it one of the most catastrophic military failures in history. His army never recovered and was soon crushed by English and American forces. Even on a diplomatic level, true unification has proven impossible. In 1993, the European Union began, but has not consolidated the nations into one cohesive empire. It's important to note that the kingdoms of Europe have extended their influence over the entire world. England took a quarter of the world at its peak. Spain was not far behind, and through the United States, much of the world is heavily influenced by European culture. Germany, France, Portugal, and the Netherlands also made many colonies over the world. It is clear that the division of the Roman Empire has influenced the entire world as we know it. Although there is talk about a one-world government, this will never fully come to fruition. It has failed in the past, it will fail in the future, because the prophecy is clear, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.